My friend Erin asked me to take these 3 rocks that she took from her yard and make 10 to 15 special heart rocks for her to give to her family and some friends. And so I thought it'd be fun to make a video showing the process. So at first I'm going to show it to you at the actual speed of cutting or grinding the stones. This is a 10-inch tile saw that I'm using. I've spent about 8,000 hours making heart rocks, so if you're worried about my safety, it's okay. I'm pretty slow and safe when I do it. This is my favorite part, is when I first cut the stone open and it reveals the colors. This one was red and banded. This one on the outside, it looked like it was going to be yellow on the inside, just pure yellow. And as I was taking a look at it, I noticed there was a small fracture line down the middle. So I decided to just cut it and see what I'm working with. And now watch this. This part was so cool. So you can see the fracture line, but look at all the red inside of that. It's kind of just hidden. So I'm testing to see if it's gonna break and see what part of the stone I can work with. Whenever you see the video sped up, it's 10 times sped up. I spent about 2 hours making these heart rocks. I think I made 20 of them. And the first part is cutting them into the slabs. I usually cut them into about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch wide, just depending on how soft or hard the stone is, and then also if it has any fractures in it. And it just takes some time to cut. I listen to audiobooks while I'm carving. And so in a couple hours, I can get through a lot of audiobooks a year. The saw spins around about 20 times a second, and it just has little diamonds encrusted in it. And then I've got water flowing on it, about 60 gallons a minute. So about a gallon every second is flowing on. Wait, no, that's way too much. I think it's 20 gallons a minute. I think that's what I've got the flow rate at. And that just keeps it from getting super duper hot. It also helps keep the dust down. You can't just go around cutting rocks because all that dust, a lot of it's silica. And if you breathe that in, it's super duper bad for your lungs. This was the 3rd rock. It was the softest of the bunch. And so I cut it into the slabs. It was tricky because a lot of it fractured. See all these pieces that broke off as I was cutting? And they cut off at weird angles, so I couldn't really use them unless I was making tiny hearts. So here's a sneak peek. I made a few hearts out of it. And there's a couple reds and yellows. I kind of tested them as I went along. Here's the actual process that I use when I'm cutting the hearts. Sometimes I'll dry the stone out, and then I'll use a stencil to trace the hearts on. But with these ones, I felt pretty confident, and I decided to just freehand them. And so first thing I want to do is kind of measure it out and make sure I get a really good point on it. And then trying to get it symmetrical is the tricky part. Oftentimes, it'll look good one direction, but then not the other. And so I just go back, shave off a little bit more, and then take a peek at it again and see if I balanced it out well. It ends up being just making a lot of ugly hearts until I can fix them and fix them and fix them until they turn out just right. I put in the notch and then slowly work that in and then clean it up. I want to make sure that that looks really nice. And then once I've done that, then I start grinding off the sharp edges, because I figure people are going to be handling these and I don't want them to be any chance of the stone itself being sharp or cutting them. So I grind the edge off, take a good look at it, and that one's done. This one I sped up 10 times, and I think I made 3 or 4 hearts out of this red stone. And one of them, I got about 2/3 of the way through the stone, and then it broke right down the middle. It was a shame. I tried to salvage it and make a smaller heart, but then it broke too. And sometimes that happens. And so now I'm switching over to the yellow stone. I think it's some sort of yellow jasper, and then it's got the red inside. Once again, I've sped it up. This stone was really fun because it was not too soft, not too hard, kind of just right. And so the majority of the hearts I made out of that one. Here they are, they're still kind of dirty. So the next step is I rinse off all that dirt. And once I've got all the dirt and grime off of them, I set them out in the sun to dry. And then once they're dry, these ones I spritz them with a clear acrylic spray paint. It soaks into the stone and it hardens it, and then it also brings out the color. And yeah, so here's the finished hearts. I really, really loved these red ones. I left a lot of just the rough edges. I call those the raw edges. Just incorporating just as much of the rough stone as possible. And by leaving the rough edges too, I can use so much more of the stone and make the hearts a little bit bigger. This one was really fun. It was the whitest heart that I made. The gray stone was fun. It was really crumbly. It was pretty difficult to carve that one. And so I did the best I could. And then the rest of this is the yellow. And I don't know, I just hope that Erin and her family really love these and that they can use them as tools to spread love and kindness, using them just as little reminders. So thanks for giving me the rocks and for trusting me with these. I had a lot of fun making these hearts for you.